Hello, I am on the air. Wonderful. Tonight, I am thinking of working on some infiltrators. Because I got the bug, I worked on a Raptor Lieutenant earlier this week, and I was thinking that I got these extra bits, like all these little 3D printed bits from Cyberbrush, which I think look pretty cool. Will make a good infiltrator squad. So I'm going to take about 5 of these guys, I think, and create a specific squad and try to make them as Raptor-ish as I can. And so that's the plan. And then hopefully chit-chat some while doing this. And okay, so I'm going to turn off the tracking and focus down on here. And then hopefully we can get out of the way. So let me swap over to control, no tracking, and then aim it down at the work area. There, I think that should be good, hopefully. Okay. And there, I think we're all set. And if anybody has any questions or anything, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm just going to hunker down and try to get these guys done once I find my X-Acto. X-Acto. I don't know, if I'm feeling ambitious, I might do all 10 of them, but then I have to pick out all these different bits. But I'll get 5 for sure done as Raptors, and then I'll paint them, and I'll probably prime them tonight, but we'll see. Anyways, ooh. All right. And for people who want, oh, hey, Avocado, thanks. So here's the instructions. If people haven't built these before, they are very robust. It's a very robust kit. But you can either make them as infiltrators or incursors, which there's the different choices. Okay, I can see them a little bit better. And I mean, I like the infiltrators better for one because they have helmets. I don't like the special sunglasses that the incursors have. And but also I have to include something like, okay, you need the sergeant, you need the gauntlet, and you need their medical thing, and you need their communications thing. Because you can have those. So one of these guys has to be the comms officer. And one of these guys has to be medic. So you gotta get those in the first 5, and then the next 5 are all just regular dudes. I think, oh, what's the difference? Oh yeah, no, well, no, incursors, well, the infiltrators, their like special rule is that where they are placed, nobody can be dropped in within 12 inches of them. So that's a big thing for the game as it is, where you can deny parts of the map with infiltrators. While incursors, they basically make it easier for people to kill something. So an incursor shoots a unit, then everybody shooting at that unit gets, I think, 1+ to hit them, or 1+ to hit them or wound them, or their armor class. 1 pip on a die roll is better. But people use infiltrators more because you get one, group, and they're sneaky, and they can, they can grab objectives and deny parts of the map. You spread out 5 guys, and you can deny a large area. I'd say, excuse me, I don't know how many, but it's 12 inches for each guy, and then 2 inches apart. 50 square inches. I don't know. Math. But they're good for just doing that. You basically put them on your back area, and they can't do any shenanigans in the back area. So that's the main thing. But I've got all these extra bits. So I've got like 5 cloaks. I've got 20 some shoulder pads. I want to see which, because depending on the pose, a shoulder pad might fit, might not fit. I've got 5 backpacks and 5 heads, which all the heads have night vision goggles. I don't know if, let me see if I can get them. They all have night vision goggles on them and such. So that's the plan. I'm going to try to get them. And that's going to be my next painting project. So decals. And so I'm going to get them primed black, and then I'm going to do a zenithal of army green. Infiltrators are very good, and they're very good for, just like you're saying, board control. And I mean, they get, if you put a Phobos lieutenant with them, then they get, on crits, they automatically wound. I think it's called, is it devastating crits? I'm not sure if that's what the rule is. So they can they get like a good amount of shooting with just the regular bolt rifles, except it's strength 4, no modifier to save. So it's kind of like, But with that, with the Phobos lieutenant with them, then they become a sort of a little bit of a threat, a tiny threat, but more so than normal. But also, they get a benefit where if they're away from units within 3 inches, they can take a move and get away before, during the other person's phase. So they're kind of fun. I just like them right now aesthetically. I want to make cool looking, sneaky Space Marines. So now I need to do the sergeant first. He's got a couple of poses here. I'm not sure which one I want to do. So he's got those 2 poses in the blue. Let's see, is my finger. There, it does. Those 2 in the blue. Supposedly that's the sergeant. I mean, I could make any of them the sergeant, really, but yeah, I'm just going to make that. I'm going to make this guy. I'm going to give him the regular pose and call him sergeant. Because I think I've got another squad of infiltrators that I worked on earlier. So this is going to be interesting to see like the progression. So I'm going to make him the second pose. Okay. Oh yeah, they have that really good attachment now. Yeah, Raven Guard have really good stuff. Like if you're going to play Raptors, you might as well like take the rules. Well, no, because they have it specifically. You have to be Raven Guard, don't they, for that detachment? You can't be any of their successor chapters, which is too bad. That's really too bad. But, okay, so let me get this guy out. So number 1. I'm just going to do 1 batch of each. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to save 5 for later. Because apparently you get 2 spurs of each. Yeah, 2 spurs. Oh. And little bases. I think those are for the grenade or the mines that you can set up. Okay. So that's 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, so this is a duplicate. And this is a duplicate. So I'm just going to put those out of the way. So hey, Ronick. I'm just making some infiltrators right now. I was talking with Avocado a little. I'm making them Raptor infiltrators because I got a bunch of little 3D printed bits I'm going to try. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We were talking about the benefits of infiltrators over incursors. Which really, infiltrators also just look better because incursors have those funky sunglasses and I don't know, VR helmets. Ghost Keel. Ghost Keels are fun, man. I wish they had, well, you can fiddle with them, but they come in that sort of mono pose. And I've made 2 of them, but I haven't painted any of them. I think I got a couple of their combat patrols a while ago. Well, not a while ago. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to need 6. Yeah, I'm usually not very fast with this. Yeah. Do you normally play Tau? Like, are they your main force? Because, like, I have Tau that I want to paint, but I've been focusing on other things. Let's see, 6. We need the scope. Just this. Oh yeah, I just actually Blood Angels were the things I was working on. Like Raptors are my first. And then I got Wild Hair to do some Blood Angels, and that's what I did for a good chunk of time. And then I got tired of painting red and gold, so I went back to Raptors for a little bit. But the thing that drew me to the Blood Angels was I love their character models, and I love the aesthetic. It's like Raptors and Blood Angels. Raptors and Blood Angels opposite are like on the each end of the spectrum. Like the Raptors are all tactical and practical, while the Blood Angels really lean into the gothic aesthetic. They're really like, and they're both awesome. They're both great. Like I love Blade Guard veterans, and I love that whole people in robes and junk. But I also love people with a good sniper rifle, and camouflage. Okay, I'm talking too much. Okay, 5 and 7. I need for the arms, which would be on the sprue. These are such good sprues. Maybe I'm going to do one. They can use the parents, which means you can you? I thought they had like a special thing in their in that specific detachment. Because a friend of mine was complaining about that he could not, he could only use Raven Guard because he had what's that other one? Some other chapter from the Raven Guard. Well, it's it's a decent enough time if you haven't been, they just released the Christmas stuff, the Christmas box sets. I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of the rules currently. Like I've liked earlier versions a little bit better, but that should be enough. They're a little bit too abstracted, and there's not enough defensive options, I feel like. But yeah, you can use the Raven Guard detachment, I guess. I thought you couldn't, though. I might have to replace this blade. It's feeling a little bit dull. Let's see. But every now and then, like I'll see something like on Etsy, and because I'm looking at Etsy for 3D printed bits, and if I see a good Raptors thing, then that like pulls me back into painting them. I didn't notice this before, but they have one shoulder which already has the shoulder pad on it, while the other shoulder does not have the shoulder pad. Well, I've got several. Like I have a Necron's army set. I have a Raptors army that's set. I have, I'd say most of an Eldar army. Like I don't have any big. Well, I've got the Avatar, but I don't have like any other bigger stuff. I just have a whole bunch of infantry for the Eldar, and I've got a good number of Blood Angels now. I'd say I've got good enough for an army. I just did. I don't know if you've looked at like the channel. Like the last thing I posted was a Land Raider that I put up because I was like, oh, they need a big centerpiece. Because before that, I had nothing but jump pack infantry, which is great for Blood Angels. But I felt like I needed something to give them weight on the table and to be a good centerpiece from all the painting. But I love like the Sanguinor, Dante, and Astarath. That is a fun figure. I hadn't seen Astarath before because when I stopped playing back in the 90s, I don't think he was introduced at that point. I think it was Tycho, I don't know how you say it, was the main character for Blood Angels. And I looked at him and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Gary Oldman's Dracula with that red armor from the Dracula movie from way back when. So I painted it like that, like it was Gary Oldman. It's kind of fun. Tycho, I think he's not a model. No, he's not a model. I'm pretty sure they killed him off, didn't they? Because he supposedly came from like several thousand years ago. Like they've moved up the timeline to 41.5 or 42K, something like that. And So he's long dead, I believe. But I remember him. He was the first Blood Angel that had gold armor, if I recall correctly. And then they introduced like all the sanguinary guards. Yeah. See, the '90s was '90s was a good time. There's an entire culture on YouTube of people who play nothing but second edition 40K, and I actually bounced off of 40K. That's when I sold my armies and went to college. But I bounced off of 40K at that point when they were introducing second edition, and because I played in when they first introduced Eldar Aspect Warriors, and when they hold on. Right before that edition. I think it was like also fourth edition fantasy. Yeah. Well, that's a good. A lot of people say that's like the best thing because it had the rules. They addressed the whole thing. Like a big controversy in 40K is the I go you go system of rules, where all right, all of my guys shoot your guys, suck it up. That sort of sequence. They had in that 40K, they had the same sort of thing, except they had Overwatch. And Overwatch basically lets you put your guys, instead of moving, you put them on Overwatch, and they could fire in your opponent's turn when they moved into view, that sort of thing. So it was good for that. But it's still kind of like alternating act. Yeah, Overwatch. I mean, that solved so many problems. And but now they're back to, like, I was surprised. I went back and I was like, okay, so what are the rules like now? And it was right after they brought in Leviathan. And I looked at it and was like, oh, it's still I go, you go, and all of my damage takes effect before all of your damage. And it's like, man, because I got used to playing other systems, way back. Like BattleTech had everything simultaneous and movement, alternating activations. But also, that was a smaller scale game, to be fair. Except for people who went and did huge battles. But yeah, it was usually a smaller scale game. They also had lots of craziness in second edition. Like, you could get, well, in first edition it was even crazier, but second edition you could just spend a bunch of your points on off-board artillery and blow your opponent up before he moved. Yeah. Tyranids, when they introduced them, they were rough. Like, you remember how bad and how evil the Carnifex was? Because it was like, oh, you want to get into close combat with me? Yeah, well, too bad. Oh, you want me to shoot? Okay, well, I just blew up your tank. Yeah, it's just, man, that thing was tough. I remember having such trouble with it, with Eldar. It's like, Carnifex, he was so bad. He was just so nasty. And I remember the Avatar was like the only thing that could really go toe-to-toe with him. Maybe, what's that? Maybe Jane Czar. Jane Czar could go toe-to-toe with a little bit, but if he got one hit through, I was like, that's it. She like failed her fix save. That was it. I gotta put this on here. But that was the thing back in first and second edition. I have to admit that making it in 40K now, that's a good change where anybody can be wounded on a 6, because there used to be things of guys who, if they had a toughness, like if you brought an avatar onto the battlefield, you got to roll, it was like he had the 7 toughness, he had a 6 toughness plus a 1d4 roll to add to it. And if you rolled, a 4 and he got a 10 toughness, then half the things on the board could not hurt you. Hive Tyrant, Carnifex, 2 Lictors, Gene Stealers. Yeah, Gene Stealers were great. They could go toe-to-toe with Terminators, though, in second edition were raw tough. They were insane. Because you could give them all Chain Fists, Strength 10 hits. The Assault Cannon was Strength 8 with following fire and -3 to your saves, and it was just nasty. Listen, we're old. Old players. Like Assault Cannons now are really like kind of hit or miss. You're like, okay, they can wound stuff, but yeah. Because it used to be if you could take assault cannons, you just did. If anything could take assault cannons, you did. This is why Redeemers are so good. Yeah, 4 attacks per round, movement 10 inches. And that was, I forget, what were the charge rules back then? Did you still have random charges? I thought it was a fixed charge. Like you didn't roll for charging, if I recall correctly. One second. Fixed charge, yeah. It's been so long. It's been so long. But I've started watching. There's Crown of Command is a really good channel, and he does tons of content for second edition and the paint jobs that they do. It's amazing. Yeah, second edition. They had fixed charge distances. I think it was like twice your movement rate. If that was like as far as you could charge, I'm not sure. Oh, darn! This guy's leg's gonna fall off. So, I mean, second edition was far from perfect. It just had small solutions to some things, you know. Gotta fix his leg. Oh, no, don't fall. Okay. Oh, there you go. I gotta do it there. Darn it. There. I'm gonna hold this for a little bit. But did you ever play Epic 40K? That had a really good rule system to it. Your army was about 500 gene stealers. Yeah. And they weren't easy, like they were not super easy to kill. They were tougher than, the Hormagaunts, Termagaunts. They were easier to kill, or harder to kill than the hybrids. Oh, man. Oh, one of the things that also surprised. Oh, Epic. See, Epic had a really good system with the order counters. That was just amazing. I felt that, and it was phased, and so like you alternated activation. So everybody charged. You had charge moves and advance moves, first fire, and the way you built armies was so nice in that. And stat lines made sense. Like they gave at one point that they made the mistake of publishing the formula that they used for stat lines in Epic. So you knew it was 5 points to get 5 centimeters of movement, and then it was 5 points to get 1 die of shooting at a 5+, and it was just everything made sense, and you saw why things were written that way, why they cost so many points. And the main way you got discounts on points was by buying companies, and you got like 1 free detachment for it. But then they introduced like Titan Legions, and you get an entire Titan for free. And it's like, that's not good. Okay, so this is the base body of one dude, and then we're going to put all the different stuff on him to see and make him the individual figure. And let's see. I need to figure it out. Okay. For this, since it's resin, I got to use super glue. I'm just going to cut the end of this off. All right. And I should probably put on the cloak first. And these, okay, I got to chop off the spur on the back. I'm going to shave that a little. Oh, Battlefleet Gothic? Orca Morco. I've always wished I couldn't find the box set for it when I was still. But then I went off to college and stopped. Couldn't spend the money. Gorka Morco is so good. Okay. I'm gonna go. This cloak is cool. All right. So, and shave a little bit of the back. Okay, so I'm going to put this cloak on him. I don't know if you see, it's got a knife and a bedroll on it. A very, very Raptors thing. So, there. Okay. And some accelerant. To help the superglue take. All right. There's a guy who prints them called Cyberbrush. You can get them off of his website or on, what's that? There's like that miniature market. Let me see. Let me check my bookmarks up here. Thingiverse, I think. Yeah, I think Thingiverse is the thing, or oh, there it is. My Mini Factory. That's it. Cults. My Mini Factory. If you're looking to buy it, I mean, they might have it illicitly on Cults too, but these are all Raptor things that they have a. It's called Wrapped apostrophe Ops, and so that's the stuff that he's got. I think I might save that for one of those. There we go. That's good. Okay. And here's a shoulder pad that has a punch dagger, or no, is it a punch dagger? No, it's got a karambit or grapple line and a communicator. Let's see, can you see it there? So I'll put it on him. We'll see it a little bit better. But My Mini Factory or his website, which is Cyberbrush something, I think. And I got them, and then I asked a acquaintance on Etsy to print them out for me, since I don't have a resin 3D printer. And then this is the Scale Tails. They're good folks. Let's see. There we go. That'll fit. I should probably put super glue on the backpack because that's the stronger contact point. And a little bit of accelerant. Why is it not sticking? Let's see. You got 3 resin printers, dude. That's awesome. I don't know, maybe some advice at some point, because I'll let you know if I get one, because Christmas is coming up. But resin printing, like I was thinking, if I got a resin printer, I'd probably get the Mars 5 Ultra and the cleaning station and just stick it in a corner of the basement, ventilate that sucker. Although winter, it's going to be rough. And so I could bother you for some advice. Something that's not sticking right. Maybe I'll do it right here. Try to move quick. There. Because I think the main thing for me would be learning the process. And I don't know, I might wait a generation or two until it becomes truly idiot proof, because I will need that. Let's see, you got Elgo Saturn 4 Ultra, a heater, and a box with a fan. Well, I was thinking getting an enclosure, like they say, you get that enclosure, and so you don't have to worry about it. Let's see. Which head? I think that's a good one. Yeah, arcs of the fan. Get that, and or maybe and what is that? The purifying stuff or the purifying unit? Go with that. Okay. Okay, so there's the first guy. Let's see, he's got scope, grapple line, cloak. So there, that'll be the first infiltrator. I don't know if it'll be the sergeant. The sergeant will put like a little stripe on his shoulder pad or something to signify. Two goes out the yeah. See, I was thinking, have it for going out the window, but also we're like, the impact it might have on heating. But then again, it is the basement. Just cut off the heating for that room. But yeah, I've been thinking about it, but I think I might need to wait another generation or two. So I, so it'll be a little bit easier because I'm a noob when it comes to that. I mean, like I've got two bamboo resin or not resin filament printers, and they are pretty idiot proof, and I've been having some fun with that. As you can tell, like I print out a couple of Titans, and I got little shorts about them. Let's see. Okay, next dude. Well, they have lots of instructions for just one. That's because they're doing double duty. All right. 31, 32, 33, 34. All right. So this has to be the communications officer guy. Which get a piece of plywood, cut a hole in it, duct tape it to the window. Oh yeah. Yeah, I should probably do that. If I end up doing it, that's it. It's also, I think, well, if that, my wife is very sensitive to smells and scents, and that would be right like under her desk. Like the space that we have for it would be mainly under her working area. And so that might be a bit rough to convince, to try to get her to be okay with that. She doesn't smell the filament though. And that can be, that scent can travel. Okay, next guy. 31, 32, 33, 34. And then I'm going to need to get, I'm not going to use his helmet. I may need to do something with his backpack. Or actually, I'll just use the gauntlet and say that's the comm. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. And it's got room I can put another shoulder pad on him, so that'll be nice. Yeah, auto balancing. I was thinking getting a heated pad, getting auto balancing is very important. And do you if you've got that, do you have that AI error detection, and how effective is that? Because that's one thing I would like to know about. Like if the camera with the AI error detection is useful at all. That's part of this. So it does function pretty well. Because like I have a camera on the bamboo, but they don't have any error detection and such. It would be nice because sometimes I'll step away and then I'll come back and see, spaghetti when I come back. And I was like, oh, that'd be so nice if I didn't waste all that filament. 31. Okay. Where's his other leg? 34. There it is. Oh, he's got a tactical rock. He must be the sergeant. Okay. Well, that's good then. I think if I was able to just hammer through the process and get like mentally down, get a process set, then I'd be able to handle it pretty decently. But I think it's always that beginning of it. And the smell. But there's so many things that I would love to print, 3D print. But then I've talked to people and they say that you have to be careful because if you get into 3D printing heavily, then that starts to supplant all your other hobby time, you know? You end up printing a whole bunch of stuff, but having no time to paint or less time to paint or game. But I mean, I imagine though that you can say that about almost anything, that all it takes is discipline ultimately. But still, I would hate to, because I've got plenty of stuff to paint, really. I don't really need to print out more stuff, but things like this, augmenting a build is really wonderful. Like I like being able to, I mean, everybody loves making them your guys, having figures that only you have. Well, there you go. See, I don't know. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I mean, having to deal with customers? Nah, no way. Having to be nice to people. Like, I feel bad for the guy I use on Etsy. His name's Dieter, and he is the nicest guy. Nicest guy. Is such a good customer service dude. He's so quick and always respond really quickly to questions. I was like, oh man, I could not do that. I could not do that. Well, I could probably do it for a little while. Not for very long, not very well. But do you have a 3D print on Etsy? Like I've heard so many like horror stories about it from folks. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. Not yet. Well, you do let me know. I'll see what you got, or I'll hassle you. I'll say like, hey, get these, get that. But I'm a sucker for anything Raptors. Like the only person I was going to just get. Oh, that's good. Doing your own 3D sculpting. That's pretty cool. There's so many like really good sculpts out there. Oh wait, did I do this wrong? I think I might have done this. Oh, let's see. It goes on. It'll be right. I would say there are some sculptors out there that are better than like Games Workshop first party stuff. Like, have you seen 3D Art Guy? His prints are beautiful. They're not very practical. But they're beautiful. They have like lots of ribbons and scarves and flowing things to get the movement. So it's like, cool and all, but dang. Oh, you know what? I gotta add more stuff to these dudes. Like on their legs. Maybe some pouches and things. I'm sure they have other stuff on here. Yeah, they got pouches and packs. I'll do that. Piper makes. Oh, Piper the towel. Oh yeah, I got some of those. Those are great. Piper's towel. Like I one point I had X amount of budget for each month of getting something, and I just decided I took 1 month and I said I'm just going to get Piper stuff, and I did, and it was wonderful. Like on Etsy though, like swear word enthusiast. I keep trying to find some some stuff, but there. Have you tried? Oh gosh, there's one printer she does exclusively Necrons and Thousand Suns, and she's got some really nice like Egyptian themed stuff. Oh gosh, if you look for on Etsy, if you look for Necron Catan or Catan proxies, you might bring her up. She's got lots of really beautiful Catan. I don't know if you Catan, but C''TAN. Look for them and see if you can find them. And she also does Thousand Suns stuff as well as Necrons. Oh, I forgot to shave his feet. The Piper makes is so nice. Although I had a hard time with the builds, honestly, I have to say, because it's not for the amateur, because they do a lot of stuff where you got all the joints, all the arms, the legs are separate pieces, and you have to pose them, and a lot of the weapons require 2 arms or 2 hands. So if you can have a hard time making the hands meet the arms and the weapon. But yeah. Let me get this stuff here. There we go. That was the only problem I had with Piper stuff. But they have such a like a inspiring look for the Tau. It's like if Tau were cooler, not so boxy, you know. Okay, so next we're going to do cloak. For basing these guys, well, I just use, okay, I have a theme of all my Raptors I have a theme of like all my guys come from this different season. So Necrons are winter. The Blood Angels I had for spring, so they're sort of like muddy and some puddles and things. And Raptors are autumn, and so that's why like I don't know if I have a short up of the Raptors lieutenant I just painted, and all of his camo, he has leaves and such on them. They're autumn leaves, and so these guys are going to basically have autumn leaves on their bases, and maybe on some of the parts where they have their harnesses and such. But I'm not going for heavy leaf, no ghillie suits on these guys this time. Yeah. So that's just that was my mental framing. Like I don't really have any reason, but I liked. Oh, I want to do snow, and I thought Necrons were fitting for snow and winter. So that's what I was doing, and so that's why Raptors are autumn. They have that stuff for them. Okay, let me get. Accelerant. There. Well, that's pretty smart, avocado. That is probably smart to do. They're already in their base mode though. They are pretty big. Like they're bigger than regular Tau stuff. I got to do his arms. 40 and 42. I forgot to get those. And his wrist. So this is going to be the gauntlet guy. I'm just not going to give him the huge heavy helmet with sensors. Although, nah. So basically for autumn, I just use the leaves and I use a mix of stone, grass, those leaves, and I put a little bit of the I've got Vallejo's, I think European mud that I used for just like put that on first. Push that around some. Although I've been toying around with idea for my next project after this one. So I got a few working, but sometimes the thing will just grab your brain. And I was thinking like, when you're painting, I like creating like a headcanon of what's going on. And I kind of think like, all these guys that I'm painting are all on the same planet. And I feel like the Blood Angels are coming in and they're attacking while the Raptors are, of course, doing a guerrilla warfare thing against the Necrons. And so I'm thinking of like, I should get some of those Necromunda vehicles and convert them. Like take one of those Necron or Necromunda, what are they called? The big rig. They have a big rig for Necromunda. And I was thinking that would be so cool to take that and sort of give it like hodgepodge of weapons and have it be a Land Raider proxy and equivalent or something like that, or Predator proxy, so it's not too powerful, but it has such a big silhouette. Or get some of the the Gene Stealer cults have some really cool civilian vehicles. What is it? Necromunda, Gene Stealers, or something else. Imperial Agents. I did not finish shaving this. There. And so I'm thinking like that would be a fun thing to do. But then part of me is like, come on, man, that's like, as soon as you start down that path, that's like another $300 just for an idea to get all the different stuff. But maybe I should look at something resin printed. I wonder if they have resin proxy Necromunda stuff. I know they have. Darn it, they have squats proxy. I mean, that would be a kind of a cool big rig. Yeah, I think I'll need to give each of these guys a pistol and some pouches to complete the look, because their legs are looking a little bit bare right now. You know what? Do I want to go with his arm? No, I really kind of don't. Is there another one I could use? I'm just going to use a knife. Use a knife, and then give him the one where he's got the gun slung on his back. Oh, I'm an idiot. I forgot to shave off the pylon on the back. Yeah. Darn it. I'm not having much luck with my glue tonight. There we go. Okay, let's stick. I'm going to hold this for a little bit because it's being finicky. Stay. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Okay, this is dull. I'm going to have to get a new knife. Put away the old one. Hopefully, using the new X-Acto, I do not shed my own blood on stream tonight. I've done so once before. I had to go get a Band-Aid. But, let's see. Okay. That's much better. Smooth. And get some low line. Okay. So how should I put this? You know what? I should drill a hole in the barrels. Don't like that pose. Turn it. You know what? That doesn't look good. I want to go back to the finger. The finger. Have him manipulating the gauntlet, because why not? And this way I can put 2 shoulder pads on him. He'll look double cool. All right. Let's now get him on his base. Hopefully he'll stick this time. But tonight, for new folks, putting together some Raptor Infiltrators, because I got a bunch of bits to put on them. And I want to see how Raptory I can make them look. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I should put his backpack on. And since he has no rifle, I'm going to give him this one, which has a rifle slung on the back, because it is cool and very Raptory. And I'm going to have to use super glue because it's resin. And a little accelerant. Still going to need to put some pouches and pistols, maybe some knives. But I want to get the basics on. Why are you not going? Stick. That did not go. Let's put it on here. Let's see if we can make it stick this way. Or if the rifle is causing it to not sit right. That's there. It's a little soft. It's sticking, but not very strong. Yeah, not strong enough. Let's try it fast. Why is this having only seating a little bit? Oh, hey, man. Yeah. I got a whole bunch of those 3D printed bits, and I decided, I'm going to take just a mess of them and make one super cool Raptor squad for Infiltrators. There. Now he's finally sticking. There. See, look at that backpack is the coolest. It's got, his bolter, camo netting, and I'm going to give him a shoulder pad with a knife, because it's important to have that. Yeah. So that's my plan. That's my plan. Because I got like a box of infiltrators. I'm like, I'm just going to take these guys, and then down the line, I'm going to put a little one or two. But this is going to be like the ultra Raptor infiltrators. But let's see. Okay, I need shoulder pads and his head, and I'm going to go this one. You see, like this one, where to go? Right. This shoulder pad has a punch dagger and the symbol, the Raptor symbol. Let's see if I can get it on the screen. Focus. It's got a punch dagger and a Raptor symbol. I'm like, yeah, that's got to go on there. Get that in there. The thing is, when you kit bash these guys, you have no idea really like where the contact point is going to be. So it can be all iffy. There we go. They are from a guy named Cyberbrush. He does 3D print, 3D print schemes. And these are from his line of, it's called Wrapped apostrophe Ops. And I bought the STLs, and a friend printed them out for me. And so, but now I got to choose like, okay, what is a good other shoulder pad to go off of this one? Oh, I was going to use the other knife. So this guy's going to have lots of knives. There we go. Now maybe 12, 2 knives. Maybe that's too much. I don't know. Maybe this one. Oh yeah. Yeah, the suppressors are pretty cool. I don't know if I want to put suppressors on these guys. But maybe I probably should. After I drill the barrels, I should probably. I'm going to do that. Oh, there we go. Grenade and some. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Grenade and some and a belt of ammo. They really help out. Like, I don't know. There's something about making these guys your guys. It's the best part of playing Warhammer for me. It's making figures that nobody else quite has the same figures. Oh, and they've got like here, night vision goggles. Let's see. Can you see him? Nope. He should have his night vision goggles up though, because he's looking at his control panel. Let's see. Or maybe he's got the one that can't have them. Yeah, there he's. It's sort of like more electronic looking. All right. Okay. Oops, duh. I almost put accelerant right on the glue instead of on the piece I wanted to glue. Okay. Hold it for 12 seconds. Okay. All right, so that guy is mostly done. I still got to add some packs to like his legs and stuff. Let's see how they come out. All right, next one. Red Gullyman and a cool search window. Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing is, like, I don't know. Part of me is like, I sometimes I'll like get a model and be like, okay, I want to make this as close to the to the box art as I can, you know. But then there's times where I'm just like, no, I really don't like that, and do something on my own. And I've gotten some grief about like some of my Blood Angels are not, you know, chapter approved, but I don't know. I don't like the white wings on the Blood Angels. I like having like gold or silver, and but I mean, there is something about just wanting to have something that's your own. Like my Eldrad Uthron from Eldrad Uthwan. I looked at his paint scheme and was like, no, and I did some weird purple thing, and they're a lot of fun. Okay, 43, 44, 45, 46 for this guy. There we go, 45. Well, that's kind of you to say, but I mean, they're definitely different. Some of them I like, some of them turn out nice, some of them less so. Like, oh man, I don't know if you saw like my first. I had such a hard time for some reason with my first. I want to say Death Guard. One of those guys, the Death Company, the first 5 Death Company I did, and it was because of the freehand with the with the X on the shoulder. Something so simple, and yet it was like, oh, it's so frustrating. It was like a small fix, and at the second squad I did, I felt I did a lot better with. Because then I was like, oh, you need to draw the X in the middle first instead of trying to get 2 lines to come together properly. I kind of feel like so long as you're learning something with every model, that's the main thing I'm doing, is trying to, like, you know, hopefully slowly get better. But the Blood Angels really helped out having, what's that guy's? The Crimson Lords bits. They were really nice. Like, a good set of 3D printed bits really inspire you to do some fun stuff with them. But this is going to be my next painting project. I'm going to, after I finish them, I'm going to go prime them, do a little zenithal, and then paint them slowly, probably. Probably 1 a day for the next week. At least that's my plan. But it's such fun in assembling them. I've got like entirely too many things on the shelf that I just thought, this is cool, and enjoyed assembling them in a different way, and then they're going to be there forever. It's cool. I appreciate you stopping in, though. I mean, it's so much more fun to do this with people and chit chat, because like painting, I concentrate entirely too much. But assembling things together, like it's not as engaging, I guess you could say. Yeah, because I've got, like, I sit here and I always, when I'm assembling things and I'm not streaming, I'll have like a movie playing, or, you know, audiobook, or just news running. It's so much better to have like people talking about the hobby. And I always learn stuff. Like, people are always have their ear to the ground better than I do. I've picked up a lot of techniques too from people. I don't know if you've met him, Vanzik. He's on here a couple times. He taught me the whole using Glimmin flesh on gold to get more definition. I was like, oh, I never would have thought of that. A flesh color. Well, you know, it's one of those things. Like, I'm lucky that I am in this studio and I can isolate myself a bit, close the door, and I've got, like, you know, I try to, when I put my phone, you know, on, turn it powered off, or I run like a movie off of it and leave it like out of arm's reach. Because if it's within arm's reach, then that's a bad deal. Arms, what the arms do I need for this guy? Yeah, do they have bolters that they hold in one hand? Yeah, I think they do. I'm stealing this. I am breaking away from the instructions. He's a good guy. He's like, every now and then, like somebody will tell me something. Like when I was first streaming on Twitch, a guy was telling me, "Oh, you don't drill out your barrels." I was like, "No, what is that?" And I've learned it's pretty easy. I was surprised at how easy it is to drill out barrels now, when you have like the right tool, or just an X-Acto knife. Honestly, you can do it with an X-Acto. Just it's dangerous, or more dangerous. Okay, so that, and oh, you know what? I got to use. Where's the guy with the throw? Yeah, with the throwing his knife. I got to use that one too. That's like the best one. I got a airbrush to do primer alone. Like there was those battery powered ones, and I don't know. I didn't like it. Maybe I just need to give it more of a try. So I just use a rattle cannon for the most part. Hold it distance and spray one at a time. I know people who do it with like, shh, but I think I'm too much of a cheap bastard. I'm too much of a cheap bastard where I don't want to like, oh, all that primer is getting wasted, and it's not cheap, So. All right. So should this guy be throwing his knife, or am I just going to have him ready? I think this guy with this pose, he's just going to be holding his knife. And his rifle, I need a scope. Maybe eventually when I get like more facility with the airbrush, I really should give it more of a chance. I feel guilty because I spent money on it. Not a lot, but it was a little bit slower, and didn't have the coverage I was hoping for. Then I could see, using that for painting. I've never used an airbrush for painting. Which I know I should take some time and learn. Maybe I'll do that next. But also there's part of me like I shouldn't risk it with the models. I should practice on something else first, because Games Workshop stuff is too expensive. Maybe I'll do it. I've got some spare like Krieg guys. Keep bashing some Age of Sigmar. Some of them really look like they could be there. And some of the Scaventide figures, those are some exquisite sculpts. I mean, if you look at those guys, they almost turned me into Stormcast Eternals like right then and there. Because that one guy with the axe in front of him, the guy on I wish they had horses, but the guy on the big mount that he has, and those guys with the wings, perfect sanguinary guard. But I saw like some people doing it already, and I was like, they are a little bit further away from Blood Angels. Like, I like to stay a little closer. Like, if there's some 3D printed Blood Angels that seem a lot more like those Stormcast Eternal guys. I don't even know what they're called. I've got 3 of them. I have no idea what they're called. But oh, really? Oh, let's see. I have not gotten any recastings. I got 3D printed some, resin stuff for people. Like I think I've got like an Eldar Knight that is very close to a recast. But I don't know, the way they keep raising the prices more and more. And have you seen those Christmas box sets? It's like the equivalent is, okay, they sell you like $260 worth of things for equivalent of $220 worth of things, and it's like buy six. That box set with the Chaos Knights, where it's just 7 of the War Dogs. It's like buy 6 get 1 free. And War table games. I order from Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader's always been good to me. I think it's also because he's very close by. Well, he's New Englandish, and so what am I doing? Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that. I'm just talking too much. But yeah. But some of them some of them look cool, but they're just charging so much. Okay. I need to get the cloak first. I think it's going to be this one. I think I should do the cloak as the primary contact point. But yeah, those box sets are just, the discount is no longer really there. Like the Krieg one, they say you save basically $20. If you order everything that's in the Krieg box from an online retailer, you save only about $20. It's like, dude, this is going to be the first year, well, since I came back, that I did not get anything from Christmas for Games Workshop figures. I might get a 3D printer, so that's kind of saying something, I guess. But then 3D printing, that can take your focus off of the hobby. All right. Which backpack? Do this one. So how is this going to fit? So I should probably put the glue down there. Let's see. Yeah, it really is. Like, it's a little bit intimidating, I have to say. Like, I've been doing plastic ones, filament. But that's a lot easier. Resin, you have that whole process, and you have to clean them, cure them, and it's more hazardous, a little bit more hazardous. And if something goes wrong, you also have the potential to do a little bit more damage to the printer or to the plate. So I don't know, I might wait a generation or two for it to be a little bit more idiot-proof. There's backpack, cloak. I need to get his shoulder pad. Let's see, what's a good one? I already used one with a punch dagger. I think I'm going to use this one with dagger. That work? Okay, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. I will talk to you later. And his arm fell off. But over the next week, I'll probably put these guys up. You take care. Here, I'll hold this here. And say hi to the puppies for me. Cool, man. It's no worries. I tend to just, when folks are not talking to me, I'll at times do a stream of consciousness talking while I'm trying to get things to work right. Like these. Let's see. Which, you know what, this head might be good. Or this shoulder pad. Yeah, I think this shoulder pad is what I'm going to do. There we go. Add a little accelerant. Okay. That shoulder pad is good. Need a head. I like that head better. I might swap out one of these heads because seeing it on a body, I'm not entirely liking one of these with the night vision goggle, the ones that are tilted up. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to super glue. I'm having such a hard time with getting their feet to stick. I'm just going to super glue and accelerate it. All right. Okay, there's that guy. So let's see, can you see? With his cloak, backpack, and shoulder pad. I feel like, well, that's going to be where the insignia goes, but I feel like I should do something more. Let's see. I'm just going to slap on a whole ton of stuff on him. Pistols, knives, pouches. All right, next dude. Let's see. Well, thanks. I'm hoping they turn out well. I'm really hoping they turn out nice. Am I missing? Oh, no, I'm not missing. Okay, so next one is 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's see. I'm just going to do 5 of them, I think, tonight. And then maybe figure out something. Like maybe I'll make a squad that is more incursors, not have them have cloaks, but maybe other gear. Let's see, I have to figure it out. This guy is probably going to be throwing something. And that arm. And throwing knife. Okay. Do I need anything else? Oh, I need scope. Scope for the gun. Yeah, might as well get all the pistols ready too. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's raining here. Pattering on the roof. And earlier there was an owl. Very spooky. pouches. Right. Do all the pouches. Okay. Oh, dude, the one where he's going for his pistol though, that is very cool too. I wonder how that looks. It is nice here right now. Oh, okay, so this is one he's going for the pistol behind his back. No, is it? No, it can't be. Going for the pistol on his hip. I have to keep an eye out for that one. Scope. Oh, I still need to get. Got 5 pistols, 5 pouches, 5 sets of knives. Oh, that's cool. They have knives, and one of them, if you have a guy with his knife drawn, that knife there is missing. Although I suppose you could just chop it off there if you wanted to make more than that. That's nice here. Okay. All right, shave. There we go. So you're still working on the ghost keel? I remember when I was working on mine, I spent an inordinate amount of time trying to figure out and research what's the best gun to put on him. And I ended up choosing, I think there's the one that was more squarish, and I thought I just liked the look of it better. Still have no idea which one I chose. Oh, cool. So are you gloss varnishing it for any particular reason? Do you just like the effect of that? Because I know some people gloss varnish if they're going to do oil wash. Which I tried once. I did not have a lot of success with, although I can see its appeal. Like I would use it on big machines. There's no harm in that. Like I've played maybe half a dozen times since like in a span of about a year and a half. So really, I have to face the facts that my guys are going to be sitting on the shelf too for most of their lives. Oh, nice. Yeah. Have you tried Tamiya's panel liner? I thought that was pretty cool looking. I used it with my Land Raider. Yeah. It's like, well, it gives you sort of a more mild effect, like of an oil wash that you don't have to do like a little varnish at first. So, but you take it, you dab it along it, and it just runs along the line of the panel. You have to be careful though, because it takes a little bit of a hand to it. You can easily overflow. So you basically dab it, you get as much as on the brush as you feel like you're going to be able to convey, and then you dab it. It's always better to sort of take it small parts. It's better to do 3 small parts on a line as opposed to 1 full part, because you never, don't want to wash over or go past the boundary, and it can do that. Luckily, when I did it with the Land Raider, parts of it is like, oh, well, that's clearly weathering, so you can just kind of get away with it. But it's still like it takes a little bit finesse, I think. Oil wash, you can just you can clean it off and everything, but still. Okay, gluing. So I missed that part. Yeah, they're good for things like if you're doing white armor and you just want to get a line of black in between the panels. It's very good for that. Let's see there. That's nice. I have to say these are engineered pretty well. They the parts fit pretty nicely, and they're still pretty posable. You can do a lot of stuff with them. Yeah, the scale tails are the people I use, and Dieter is the guy who owns it. He's very good. He's got a lot of experience doing these things. But if you go find the scale tails on Etsy, tell them CC sent you, and he might give you a discount. I can't promise anything, but they're good folks. His wife helps him, and she's super nice. Oh, sure. Let me see, are they in focus here? And turn it so there, that's his grappling hook and whatnot, and he's got a knife. I'm not 100% sold on the helmets, like I kind of like it, but I'll have to see how they paint out. The dude. Yeah, the capes have textures. Like in his backpack, he's got his bolter on his back, since I figured that's the dude. And the cape has looks like a grid knife, and this guy has a grappling hook and a belt. Back of his cape, and so that's why they're supposed to be. Oh yeah, they're pretty good. Seriously, Dieter can execute. Like I used to use a lot of different people on Etsy, but I always hated the randomness of it and having to keep on people. And Dieter's always been just great on time. Perfect. Let me see. This guy's going for his gun. Will it fit on this figure? Sort of. No, that really won't fit on this one. I'll have to save it for another one. I might. It depends on how soon I finish up on this tonight. What time is it? Oh, it's 1:30. Well, chit chatting. If I get done before 2, maybe before 2:30, I'll go prime them. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with this and this. Need scope. Yeah. So we're on the West Coast. Yeah, I'm going to try to get them primed tonight. I may do it off stream because might take me a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I should probably put his cloak and his backpack on first, so I can have free range to pose the arm. So let's see, put that there. I need to shade this a little bit more. But hey, it's Saturday night. I can stay up late. Okay, accelerant in place. All right. I have an obs bot. It was a one that it has like AI tracking and stuff that we got earlier for using for business foo, for teleconferencing and such. So if I didn't have it, I'd probably just use the webcam on the laptop. But it's nice because it tracks pretty well when it needs to. Okay, let's see. Oh, backpack. I think we'll use that one. But I had a hard time with my stream. Getting it to like work right with Twitch. Like for some reason, YouTube works a lot easier. Twitch, I've had it like, corrupting the audio feed and just not working well, a lot of latency. Well, YouTube's just been quick. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's called an OBSBot tally something, tail something. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. All right, his arm will clear the backpack and the cape. Tiny SE. I don't know. I think it's tail. I think it's whatever. It has like a little. It's got an arm and it's got like a little heavy base, and it rotates around. That looks good. There we go. I think this guy might turn out better than the others. Just because I kind of like it. The look of him so far. Spray paint. I use Army Painter a lot of times. Citadel less so. AK. AK Interactive, AK something. Those are the three brands I use mainly. But I've been pretty happy with all the Army Painter products I've been using. Army Painter's errors, yeah. See, I haven't done it. I've got some, but I haven't used them yet. Okay, because I got that electric airbrush. I was thinking for a time of using it to do progressive zenithal on the Blood Angels, but I was fine just using Mephiston Red. His arm's not sitting well. I really like the Fanatic line of paints. They have really good pigment, and they seem to flow onto a surface much easier for me. Although I like a lot of the contrast paints. Yeah, their old stuff, what were they called? Like the War Tribe or Warpath or something? That was not good. And I got when I first started, I got a set of those for Christmas back then. And you could tell that they were old and they did not revitalize well. So, but then I tried some of the Fanatic, and I tried the Fanatic base set, and it was just, oh, so good. It's like night and day. This is not sitting that well either. I think actually I need to drill their barrels before I prime them. Yeah, yeah. Speed paints, Army Painter speed paints are not bad. I don't like that they reactivate so easily. That's the only thing. I haven't had reactivation problems with Citadel's contrast paints as much. But I really like, they're a good tool to have. Just they're not, I would not use them as often. Let's see. Oh, this guy is, oh darn. Okay, that is going to have to be on the next guy. Let's see his shoulder. Okay, shoulder. I think maybe that one. There we go. This works. It might be a good idea, but I was like thinking of like I'm talking like reactivates even if you do like say you paint a leg and then you come back to it just like seconds later and you like missed a spot, you get a little bit overlap, and then that would be giving me a hard time sometimes. It really encourages you to get everything in one stroke and then clean, as opposed to doing several small strokes. At least that's been my limited experience with it. Don't know if varnish reactivates. It's coming off that there. I just realized I do not want to put this. I'm not putting this shoulder pad on him with the knife because I was realizing he would not be able to draw it if I put that knife on there. It would make no sense. There's no way he could physically reach it. So I'm going to use super glue on this. I'm having such trouble with this problem. Yeah, well, you need to, with those, you kind of need to glop them up. Use your brush to, a lot of times, to sort of like get them and take the puddles out of there. And I kind of don't want to do that. It takes up a lot of time. But they do leave spots. I find like I use them mainly when I'm trying to just change the hue of something a little bit. I don't find them good as like a base coat. I think I've kind of gone away from them for that reason. But yeah. Let's see. There we go. Well, I kind of know. I've kind of like had to make my peace with things like that, where I like a lot of times the stuff that you get, you're buying it to try it out, to the potential to have options down the line, and you never know. Eventually, you might have use for them, because I've got entirely. I mean, it's the thing about a pile of shame. Same reasoning. All right. Like I tell my wife, I say, I'm getting this box set of figures. I might not get to them within a decade, but I want to have the option to paint them if I want to. There might be a day where I decide, you know what? I suddenly want to do Age of Sigmar, something like that. Yeah, exactly. You just want to have the chance. Because like the other day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to paint this Chaos guy. And so I just took one Chaos guy and I painted him. And I was like, yay. Hooray for me. It was a Chaos Lord of some kind. Like I don't have a Chaos army. I don't have anything else painted. I've got an army. It's not just unpainted. I mean, I don't play it. I just wanted to paint that one dude. All right, there's another dude. Throw a knife. Ta-da. All right, last guy. Let's see. All right, next one is 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, this is the guy where he could be going for the pistol. I think I will definitely do that. Yeah, 4 or 5. I mean, I've got 5 more, but I don't feel like doing them. I just want to get these guys going. Let's see. Yeah, I should not have to look for these because it's the last guy on the sprue. So I should just be able to just go click, 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 click. Oh, I added the nozzle onto it. It's just it's regular Gorilla Glue, gel XL with these are Panda Hall 100-piece crafting nozzles. I slap those on. But you have to trim them down as you use them. So, because otherwise it congeals pretty easily, and it also it's too much tension for it to use straight out of the bag, so you got to chop it a little. Okay. And this is the guy going for his pistol, so that is like the best. Which means I need to get a empty pistol holster for him, which is this. All right. And am I going to be able to put this over? No. Oh, darn. I'm probably not going to be able to. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to shave this because I really want to use this shoulder pad. I'm going to shave his arm. See if I can get it to fit. You recommend using a glue more consistent with Tamiya extra thin? I like Tamiya. I mean, I like the Tamiya extra thin. But mainly, I haven't tried any of their other ones. I haven't tried too many. Like I tried Citadel. I don't like Citadel. I like the brush application. I like the tiny little brush. That's the main reason why I use it and why I rebuy it. But I'd be open to suggestions, honestly, because it doesn't work the best, as you've seen. Like I've had to switch over to super glue on some parts. But yeah. I just don't like the nozzle with Citadel's own thing. Where is the net? There is. It's a little bit more. Tamiya, some people don't like it because it melts things pretty quickly, which dries, so it causes that join. But it melts things pretty quickly, and it also, because of that, you got to be a little bit more careful. And just cut myself a little bit. I forgot this was a fresh X-Acto knife. But I mean, maybe the Citadel glue that I got at first was a bad batch or something because it just was having a hard time gluing anything. And so then I logged into the YouTubes and saw somebody advocating for Tamiya. I was like, okay, I'll try it. Yeah, melty can be good. I was watching an Artist Opus video, and he was like saying, when you drill your barrels, just put a dab of glue inside of them, and it melts all the excess stuff off there. And I was like, wow, that's freaking brilliant. And I'm going to have to shave that a lot more. Yeah, it was very good. It gets rid of all that little fuzz and whatnot inside. Clears the barrel a little bit. Try not to chop my finger. Okay, come on. Yeah, almost. Almost. Some of these poses I just have to use. The whole going for your pistol is so cool. Man, I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna have to snack on something or go to sleep. All right, I think that is not still, or maybe it's got a little glue on the inside. Maybe I get rid of that glue. I am far in the boonies. If I want something late at night, it's got to be at the house. We just have one grocery store that delivers in the area. There's just a McDonald's and a few pizza places. One horrible, horrible Chinese restaurant. If they were open, they deliver. But ordered them once exactly, and then it's like, nope. So I think I probably got some chicken nuggets. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. We moved out here. We used to live in the South Shore near Boston. We moved out here into Western Mass, and it's far away, but it's beautiful. It's quiet, relaxing, wonderful. We live out in the middle of the wilderness. Like I said, there's an owl earlier hooting. Um, we've seen beavers and porcupines, deer. There's apparently our bears and mooses. So it's pretty wonderful. All right, that fits better. Okay. Yeah, our fall was wonderful. It was really, really great. And this when we had the first snowfall, actually today, this morning, and I've got a little pond outside my studio, and the lake froze. The little pond froze over, and it was beautiful. And we're like, okay, this is our Christmas card. And so we went outside and took pictures, and it's wonderful. I made it my desktop background. It was so nice, and so we're very happy to be here. This is all like this is our last home. We're hoping, and so we're just going to be here forever. And it's got this studio is so nice to be able to just do my thing here. Yeah, we're very lucky. But there are disadvantages. Being far away, we have to drive about 20 minutes to get to a decent town, sort of like for getting to like actual supermarket or stuff. 30 some minutes to get to like I don't know, like a Target. And we have a Walmart that's not too far away, but that's like 15, 20 minutes away. Oh, this guy's legs not sticking. But my wife and I telecommute, so it didn't matter where we were. And so hopefully things stay positive in employmentness. Come on. Stay. Okay. You son of a... You know what? Super glue. That's it. I'm having no luck. Maybe this is... I wonder if they can expire, because this is an old glue. Yeah. Always a balance. All right, give this another try. This one makes it. Although it does get that where it starts to deteriorate. Like I consolidate. I have 2 other bottles over there, and I've had to consolidate before. All right, so that's working. Oh, I need to get. He does not have. He doesn't have his scope. I need to get his scope. Yeah, my plan for these guys is, Primal Black, do a Zenithal of the Army Green, and then always after a Zenithal, I tidy up a little bit with a little dry brush of the same color just to get things where I think it needs a little bit more, a little bit less. Well, not a little bit less, a little bit more. And then I do like a Athonian camo shade wash, and then I do a little dry brush to bring it back up. And then start picking out the details. Or base coat of black gunmetal. There we go. That's a good pose. I'm just going to give this time to dry. Okay. Does that fit? Okay, I need to chop off the peg on the back. Should have done that earlier before I glued stuff, because now I got to grip it where it's drying. Okay. This actually needs a little cleaning on the back. Some little supports. Okay. Brilliant. Accelerant. Did I not clean these? This barrel needs chopping. Okay. Your cloak's on. Let's get the backpack. Oh, that needs some. It's got support still. There we go. The nearest GW supplier for you? Oh, I have Amazon. I don't. The closest game store is about 55 minutes away. Honestly, my wife and I, we've been vaguely thinking, retirement, it might be good to open a store, because there's a lot of, geeks and gamer nerds in the area, but no outlet. Like people play at the library and stuff. So they're thinking, it might be a good idea to open a store. Not expect to make much of a profit, but something to do in our old age. Oh, darn, this guy's arm fell off. Again. So I just order things from Amazon mainly if I need to get, get like primer and stuff. Yeah, we don't have any game stores in the area around here, so it's just kind of like I have to just make do. Although I lucked out in going to a Target and I was able to get some Games Workshop stuff because they had Dawn of War Onslaught, so I was able to pick up a copy of that there. But that's like the last time I bought a Games Workshop thing in the store in a while. Okay. I guess that's one benefit of being so far on the boonies is that people are having a hard time getting copies of that, but I was able to find one in the wild. So that was nice. There we go. That's going to fit perfectly. Yes. Now, what other shoulder pad should I put on there? Cross now. No. That's not going to fit. Oh no, there it goes. That's what we'll do. I think I already used that one. I know the one I want to use, but I have to see if I have a spare piece. Hold on for 1 second. Need to find an alternate shoulder pad. There's one that I need a mirrored version that is a Raptor symbol. I think that'll work. Don't want to use that though. Because the one I picked out has the Raptor head going the wrong way. Oh, there we go. I think that. Yeah, that works. I have to get it out without losing it. There we go. Perfect. See, it's got Raptor symbol. I don't know if you can see it. Now, will it fit? Please fit. Oh, come on. Might be a little too big. What will I have to chop to make it fit? I'm going to pull this arm off. Make this sucker fit. By forcing it. Now, there. It fits. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad now. You can tell. And we'll just give it a little extra super glue to make sure it works okay. There you go. There we go. He's looking pretty cool. Yeah, and that fits. It works. Looks good. Oh, that's sweet. I gotta get these back out of here. You're done. Get him his base. The cleanup after building. Why is that? Like I don't usually like it. You know, cleaning up after building stuff. I'm like, I usually leave it for the morning, to be honest. So I'm a big slacker. Oh, I didn't shave his feeties. I think I skipped shaving this guy in different parts. Sense of accomplishment. Okay, well, I can see that. There's definitely, the dopamine feeling of, being done with something and having. That's the thing. Like I used to play video games before doing this, and I enjoyed that, and I still do. But there's something so nice about having something palpable after you're done working on something, Achievements don't cut it, man. And it's nice to experience like a story, but yeah, there's something about saying like going back and looking at something you've done, something you've worked on. That's kind of like honestly, that's a positive of making videos or putting up images or like is being able to go back and look and say, oh, that was pretty fun. Reliving it. All right, there's this guy. Let's see. Can you see? He's got his knife and his raptor. Let's see. I'm going to bring it down. He's got his raptor symbol. And shoulder pad with netting and a knife. And he's got one of those. He's got belt straps on his backpack. Well, I just use the cell phone, and cell phones have pretty good pictures. So I mean, but then again, my camera work is not the best, and my stuff is not the best. But I like just doing it, and I like doing it, and sharing it's fun. It's fun to get that little sense of community. Okay, now extra pieces. I'm going to shave these. I should actually go bit by bit and see which. Okay, for the people with Should I put like huge pouches on his shoulder pad? Maybe. You don't want to look at my big box. Like I'm thinking pouches, but not 4 big pouches, maybe like 2 or 3. Or something like this. Or do they have other size pouches? No, they don't. They just got the 4 big pouches. And yeah, I like I like seeing, like, I go back to my old stuff and look at what I painted, and I'm like, it's nice to see the progression, the change. It's like, oh, I remember you did this, and then I learned this technique, and that effect is better now. So that's nice. Let's see. No, it's not. Well, I shaved it down a little. It's got a little nub on the back. I can get a good handhold on it. I started doing this back a ways back because my wife and I were going through health stuff, and I was like, she liked listening to me fiddle around and do stuff, and I was like, okay, well, I took up streaming because I wanted to leave something for her to have to be able to hear my voice and stuff while I was working on things, so she could just have it in the background if something happened. And but then it was also just enjoyable to talk to people, and so that was like the best part. Then things got better. This is not going to look good. I don't think that's going to look good. I need to come up with something better. I mean, I could just put the insignia. I could have put a decal there, but he's already got a Raptors insignia on his shoulder. Well, thanks. But it was a nice thing to and then I realized it was nice to look back at what we've been working on, and I guess it's just making a journal. The progression. It's nice to see that transition over time. But it's nice because I've met a lot of met a lot of interesting people to talk to. That's always good. There. Let me see if this looks any better. Yeah, that's just not going to work. I think just the curvature does not fit against the thing. Because these are made to go onto belts around the waist. I don't know, maybe just a whole big thing on the shoulder. It's a little goofy. Nah, it's too goofy. Maybe. Yeah, no, too goofy. I'm just going to have to put an insignia there. Yeah, you should. You should. It is just wonderful to be able to talk to people while doing stuff like this. And the course of your life changes, even, slightly. Like I've picked up things just from talking to people and enjoying that conversation. So I'm good. Maybe that. Oh, no, that's not going to work. I am trying to do, well, no. I could just leave it and put a insignia on it. Or another knife. Oh, that's a Space Wolves knife. Well, no, it's not that it's not sticking. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't. The dimensions are off. I could shave it some more and let it, but I think a thing that's important with the Raptors is you need to make it look natural and utilitarian. It needs to really sort of fit. Maybe this. I'm going to try shaving a little bit of this. And maybe my knife skills are not quite up to par to get it the way I want it, the way I'm envisioning it. Because it's basically getting it to fit on the curved surface of the shoulder pad. Yeah, without extra pieces hanging off. I mean, could do on purity seals. I feel is not quite Raptor-ish enough. Some bullets. Well, that's interesting. I think I'm going to do. They've got. I found a errant shoulder pad that will fit over top this one and give it sort of a beefier look to it. I wouldn't mind putting an insignia on there. All right, that's what I'm going to do. Although I don't have many, so he'll be unique amongst his friends. That's better. It looks like a tiered shoulder pad now. And he needs this. Need to clean this. Okay. It's nice how their knives fit right to their thigh. It's very good. Okay. And pistol. Check this. Oops. I just knocked it right off his thigh. Improper pressure. Give it a little bit of time. Oh, that's there. That's right. There we go. I had a little bit off. All right, I think that guy's done. All right. So there, I put that extra shoulder pad on his right shoulder. And he's got the pistol and the knives. And that's the knife with, let me see. That's the knife with the one already drawn out since he's got one in his arm or in his hand. There. So I think that works well. So he will be fun to paint. All right, let's get. Looks like I think I'm just going to use knives and pistols. The pouches are. I don't think I have room for the pouches on their bodies. Thank you. I hope they turn out well. Okay, pistol. Go, knives, pistol. Took guy with knives and pistol. Supposedly, I think the double set of knives is for the incursors, technically, but I don't care because it's too cool not to have knives. Like part of me was tempted to get some Reavers, paint them, because like the first version of Reavers I did, they did not turn out great because I had not done black armor before, and I didn't, and I practiced like 3 different techniques since then of doing black armor, and I'm a little bit better now. I'm like, oh, I should. Well, then again, I can probably go back and touch them up. I might do that. Do some edge highlighting. I'm thinking maybe I want to put another shoulder pad on this guy. I think I will. Which means I'm going to have to chop his shoulder up. That's what you get, buddy. Let's see if I can cut this down. No, that one's fine. Well, can you hear it's starting to rain even more now? Pretty heavy. I don't have to be neat carving up his shoulder because it's going to be under the shoulder pad. Poor guy. Yeah, it's so nice. It helps me sleep. Although I find if it's like the recordings of rain, unless it's like an actual recording of, a person like walking through the rain, I try to identify like the point where it loops. If it's a generated sound, I find like my mind gets obsessed with trying to find the point where it just repeats itself. But if it's like a natural recording of rain and stuff, that's wonderful. This is going to take longer than I thought. But you know what? I'm just going to do it. We'll hang out. Should I call you Ron or just Ronick? Yeah, Ronick is kind of cool. But my instinct is to shorten it. This poor guy's shoulder. Trying not to cut his chest piece. Where'd it go? There it is. Nope, still need more. Connor. Oh, cool. And Ronak was. Oh, okay. Connor. Oh, okay. Cool. Connor. I'll try to remember if it's like directly off of the screen name. I can usually remember, but for my old man brain, reversing with this letter different might be too much to remember. I'm going to have to chop this up. Let's see. My wife will be looking at me right now and she'd be like, why are you pulling the X-Acto knife towards your thumb? I'm like, baby, I got to chop. But no. I should not be pulling towards my thumb. I already cut it a little bit, but it's just a paper cut. It's like peeling an onion. Did it. Okay. Come on, man. What is it? Yeah. No, getting closer. Getting closer. I need to get that groove. But yeah, we moved to a small town, but it's kind of neat because it's very active, except now it's getting winter. Oh, you have Instagram? No, I do not have Instagram. This is the only social media thing I have at all. Well, YouTube, and I did Twitch, but no, I do not have Instagram. What was I saying? Oh, well, we moved to this small town, and it's very active. Like when we first got here, they had something going on every week. They had this like community park. They had all these like gatherings and celebrations of like jazz festival, Irish festival, food truck festival. And so it's pretty great. And they had like a fair number of people. It wasn't always like too much. It was like it's a small park, but there's like a dozen food trucks. Actually, the food truck they have more than that, but a dozen like old car gathering. It was like a dozen cars, but it's mainly excuses for people to get food from food trucks and beer, and to do shopping. At like local business little stalls and things. It's kind of fun. Okay. I think a little bit more. There's something nice coming to the vibe of a small town. All right, come on, you can fit. Almost there. Almost there. It's a few more millimeters. But yeah, we don't have Instagram or. I mean, I didn't get a cell phone until a couple years ago. I still don't use it that much, which makes me an alien. And I'm trying to hard to find an angle that doesn't cut to other pieces. I think that actually works now. Yep, that actually fits now. Yeah, like every now and then I talk to my nephews or my nieces, and they'll tell me like, oh, you need to get on this other piece of media or this other social media. I need to get on Discord. Like, nope. It's not out of like any reason other than I'm kind of lazy. I think that's probably it. Oh, I need to shave this here. Or did I already shave? Yeah, I already shaved these two. Okay. Stick. Right. And pistol. Okay. All right. There's this guy. He's got his knives and his pistol and his new shoulder pad. So he looks better, I feel. This guy is not going to be able to get a new shoulder pad because there's just no room, which is okay. I'll just put a decal on it. Yeah, there's just no room with it. It's so close to the backpack. That's fine. So he's just going to need. I need to get belt, pistol. These guys are coming together. I'm liking them more and more. I should probably clean that one too. He's already got his pistol. He just needs, so I just need to do another knife, and then we'll be done with that part. Wait, duh. I need to get a holster that is missing a knife. I screwed that up almost. Or a sheath, rather. Where are they? Oh, okay, over here. So my next set of guys are not going to be able to have any of their knives out unless I tweak it a little. There we go. Because I have two guys here who have knives out. I didn't realize. Okay. Get rid of that glue. Let's see. I was going to do some oils, but since you mentioned the Tamayas, well, you should try. I mean, it's not a good replacement for everything. It's only good for like those panels, those lines, for doing that. But like if you're looking for more weathering, where it's across a broader section, then I'd say the oil is still a good choice. But if you're just looking for, well, let me see. I'll go get my Land Raider and show you that I used it on there, and it's very amateurish because I messed up a bunch of parts, but you can still tell. 1 second. Okay, easiest place I think to see is right along near the number 6. You can see the dark lines. Let's see if I can get there. You see the dark lines around the number 6, the darkness inside the areas and along the gaps. I'm not sure if you can, but you can also see there are parts. Let me see if I can find a spot where it overflowed. Like, okay, you can see right here. No, this camera angle is just not. But I don't know if you can tell, but it overflowed a little bit there. But then with metal vehicles and stuff like that, it just looks like dirt. It looks, so it's not horrible, but it gets that the depth sometimes. Like here on this side, see it's more ragged. I don't know if you can tell. It's hard. I'm looking at the image and it's. But that is the Tamiya, like my very first time using it, and it still did the job, but it's not as precise. I'm not as precise as I'd like it to be. But it turned out decent. Like, this is a good figure, but yeah. I would definitely use it on bigger figures or vehicles. But thank you. And what was I doing? Oh, this guy. His pistol. Did I show you this already? Yes, I did. Okay. No, I don't know. I feel like weathering and stuff, like all the things I've learned, I feel like they're all like simple tricks and things to make it. Uh, they're all the shortcuts. They're all the techniques that save time and look good. Like the first thing I tried was slap chop, and there's nothing wrong with it, but that was my approach. And I'm only now have I started like edge highlighting and things, and it takes some time. There, that guy's finally done. So here, finished. I think they're turning out good. Let's see. Oh, did I get this guy already? Yeah, I already got that guy. So there, 2, 3, 4. And this guy just needs knives. And then I think we're done. You couldn't figure Slapshot out? No, oh, dude, Slapshot is so nice. And that was the thing that brought me back to like, wow, I could maybe do this. It's and the whole prime it and then gray dry brush, then white dry brush, and then just use the contrast. Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, it's really helped me to get back and feel like I could really do this. And then I got back and was like, oh, and then I delved into all sorts of videos and saw different, tried a whole bunch of different techniques. And that's the thing, I think back in the day of the 90s and all, there was not a lot of cross pollination of information. Yes, you do need to get them pretty light. You are painting them white in essence, and the black is supposed to be in very deep recesses. So you're like you try to get mostly gray and then a little bit of white. So you're painting them. You want them to take the colors, unless you're painting them black. Then you don't have to. You're just going for the highlights, and then you do a dark blue and then a lighter blue, and then you do a black contrast. Yeah, exactly. White Dwarf. The only guide we had back then was the Citadel guide, the painter's guide, and like the people at my game store, nobody really knew how to paint very well. They would take that, and still it'd be practice, and but the thing with YouTube is giving people so many ways to research and find out things, and there's so much documentation that it's really a renaissance. And you can find like all these people in different schools of thought on how to shade things and come about with that. And just I don't know, I've been enjoying just delving into the culture and finding what I can. I'm going to put away my extra bits now. I'm going to leave my stuff out since I'm going to build the other squad over the next couple of days, probably. I'm going to get these guys going. But following the little guides in White Dwarf, that was always great. Yeah. I'm just going to toss these in here. And you get rid of all the extra stuff. Metters Miniatures. I've been looking at Artist Opus and Duncan Rhodes. Those are the two ones that I really have enjoyed. I haven't heard of Metters Miniatures. Oh, there's some Juan Hidalgo. I've looked at some of his stuff, but he does a lot of like airbrush stuff. Let me go and I'm going to Metters Miniatures. Yeah, I'm just going to record it there. into oil. Yes, yeah, I tried that once with oils, and I think I just need to get better facility with it. But I think it's also depends on the project. I think you need big figures, big figures or big vehicles, that sort of thing. I think here are the guys. Let's see. Let me see if I can move the camera to look at them better. Oh, there we go. Cool. Ta-da. All right, so soon enough, I'll get them painted over the next week or so. Okay, I'm gonna put stuff away. I gotta clean up I gotta clean up this station before I go any further. Oh, you know what? I should drill the barrels. Yeah, it's a good camera. It is. And we used it mainly because a lot of times we had to do a lot of gesturing and walking around the room to show things. But yeah. There we go. Okay, I'll turn it on to their normal tracking. I was looking all over the place, and I was like, "Oh, hi, hello." So there. So this is what I'm working on. Yeah, let me get the drill. Hold it up here, so you can see what I'm doing. All right. So you can see little hole. I can't see the chat. There. It is a good camera. Okay. I'm going to drill out the rest of them because otherwise I'll forget. The model on there, Tail Air 4K and the tail. Yeah, I'm going to pick it up. It just says OBSBot. Hey, you lost me. Oh. It just says OBSBot. I don't know the version. I don't have the box anymore. Well, we got it off of Amazon. And it's the one with AI tracking and all that. So there we go. It's not super great AI tracking because it'll lose you pretty easily. But for doing something like this, it's not so bad. I need to scoot that over a little. There we go. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of glue. Just focusing. Okay, there. Pew. Get the other ones going. Actually, I'm going to lower this back to the work table. But yeah, so that's the tracking mode of it. Put it back down. Oh, I should zoom it back out too. That would probably be smart. I didn't even shave this one. The slacker. I've got so much plastic shavings on this mat. That's good. Center space. It's finally stopped raining. Now it's just dripping. It's getting cold. I need to turn the heat back on. There we go. A little dab of glue. Okay. This guy, I don't need to drill. He's got a hole in it because it's 3D printed. This one I do. So this is the last one. Oh, and this knife went flying. Right. Mostly in the middle. Well, this is getting good purchase for some reason. Okay, there we go. A little bit of roughness. All right, there's our squad done for now. I'm going to clean up. Thank you for hanging out and chatting with me, Connor. I appreciate it. I am going to straighten up and get some food and then go lay down. That is my plan. But I will talk to you later. You have a good night and good luck with the ghost keel, okay? Let's see. There. Ta-da. Okay, good night. Talk to you later. You take care.